Kurunji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurunji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurunjischoolnkl.in.
Okay, ma, now in this video we are discussing female reproductive oral gynecium. So completely, so in this video we will discuss only regarding gynecium. So female reproductive oral is which one? Gynecium. So right, in this video maximum information you know very well, but don't skip this video. So few important and NEET examination bits also I have given here. Right, now the unit of gynecium is called pistil or carpel. Which one? The unit of gynecium. The unit of gynecium is called pistil or carpel. The unit of gynecium. So here female reproductive system is there. That particular female reproductive system unit we will be calling as a pistil or carpel. Okay, that particular point we know very well. Now this carpel, the pistil or carpel we have seen now. So that particular carpel is also known as megasporophyll. Also known as megasporophyll. Also known as megasporophyll. The carpel differentiate. The carpel differentiate into three distinct regions. So here the carpel is there. That particular carpel is differentiated into three distinct regions. Through three distinct regions known as stigma, style, and one more is ovary. So here I am not concentrating more and more. Here I didn't give even a diagram also related to the stigma, style and ovary. Why? Because so in first year studies and in second year studies also we have seen what is a stigma, where it will be, and what is a style and where it will be, and what is a ovary, what is the function of this one. Each and every point exclusively we have seen. So that's why, so the three regions or three distinct regions of carpel, so just names only I am going to give you. Okay, even diagrammatically also I am not going to draw. Why? Because easy structure and we have learned this one already. Now information point of view, the free end of the carpel, which serves as a landing platform. Which one? Free end of the carpel, free end towards the stigma. So free end of the carpel which serves as a landing platform for pollen grains known as stigma. So thereby here already one point we have seen, this particular stigma is acting as a receptacle. It receives the pollen grains. No, because of the receiving of pollen grains, so stigma we will be considering as receptacle. Okay, now here what is a word? One more word we are using, landing platform for pollen grains. So means the three regions are there, stigma, style and ovary. Out of three regions, which one landing platform is, or landing platform of pollen grains is stigma. Okay, next one, a long, narrow, tubular structure. One more time, a long, narrow, tubular structure is present in between the stigma and ovary. So here long, narrow, tubular structure. So what is a tubular, long and narrow structure is there, which is located between the stigma and ovary. Which is located between the stigma and ovary, we will be taking as style. Okay, next one, the basal swollen part. Basal swollen part of the carpel we will be taking as ovary. So means here definitely swollen part or basal swollen part of the carpel we will be considering as ovary. So thereby here 3 regions are there. My dear students, listen carefully. So 3 distinct regions are there in the carpel. So their stigma is acting as a receptacle or landing platform for the pollen grains. And the style point of view, it is a long and narrow tubular structure which is situated between stigma and ovary. Next one, basal region or basal swollen part of the carpel point of view. So that definitely it consists of ovules within them or within that, and it is known as ovary. Okay, now the ovarian cavity means here why I have given this one means within the ovary. So we can find out the gap. Cavity means empty space only, no. So ovarian cavity is known as locule. So this particular point also we know very well. It is present inside the ovary. Means ovarian cavity or the locule, it is present inside the ovary. Next one, the ovules are also known as integumented megasporangia. Ovules. So this particular point we will be calling by one more name, or the ovules also known as integumented megasporangia. Ovules also known as integumented megasporangia. So which are borne on cushion like a tissue, means definitely. So what are the ovules are there in the ovary now? All these ovules are developed from the cushion like placenta, or the cushion like structure or cushion like a tissue is known as placenta. Cushion like a tissue, which is nothing but placenta. So here one particular point in our +1 studies we have learned now, based means on the basis means the arrangement of ovules on the cushion like placenta. So based on that one, there are different types of placentations are there: axial placentation, parietal placentation, basal placentation, free central placentation, axial placentation, like parietal placentation, like there are different types of placentations we have seen. Means the arrangement of ovules on cushion like placenta we will be taking as a placentation. Means so thereby what is the point? Definitely ovules are attached on the or attached to the cushion like structure is nothing but placenta. So that is a small information we know very well. Next one, one ovule is present inside the ovary. So means if you take one particular ovary, there only one ovule is present. Presence of one ovule in the ovary we can see in wheat, paddy, even in mango also. Only one ovule is present in the ovary or inside the ovary. So best examples are wheat, paddy and mango. And more than one ovules. So more than one ovules where we can see mostly in all plants, no, definitely. So this kind of condition only means actually one ovule means, so this kind of wheat, paddy or maize, some kind of monocotyledons or some dicotyledons are there, no. So there only this kind of condition is visible. But suppose if you take one ovary, no, there mostly or maximum more than one ovule or more than one ovule is present. So best examples are not best, but we have to discuss examples now. So that's why here I have brought a few examples like what are those? Papaya, watermelon and orchids. Papaya, watermelon and orchids. These are all different types of examples. So for what? That is the presence of more number of ovules in the ovary. Now here next one, Apocarpus gynoecium, and one more is Syncarpus gynoecium to be discussed. Now Apocarpus gynoecium means here in brackets I have written now free carpels, means here the carpels are free. Apocarpus. Next one, Syncarpus. This rendume important, don't forget. Okay, sometimes in NEET examinations, so these two they are asking what is a Syncarpus, not is Apocarpus adilla. So examples they are asking more and more. Okay, Apocarpus gynoecium, free carpels. Suppose if free carpels are there means so such kind of phenomenon, our subject point of view we are calling as Apocarpus. Now best examples are rose, lotus and micalia. Rose, lotus and micalia. Next one, Syncarpus gynoecium. So syncarpus gynoecium means fused carpels. So best examples are papaver, hibiscus. So these two. So syncarpus gynoecium, papaver, hibiscus. Apocarpus point of view, rose, lotus and michaelia. Okay ma. So these two examples and information also you try to say. Apocarpus na free carpels, presence of free carpels. Syncarpus meaning presence of fused carpels, means here all carpels are fused together with the single wall, but here separate walls. So for example, so simple example for our understanding point of view I will tell, that is this. If onion, you know onion, if you see there, no onion, not garlic, right? Onion. So that one, while cutting onion, mummy will remove one outer layer, no? So like means here there all leaf bases are there, no? Stored leaf bases all are commonly covered with one and only the outer layer. But garlic, you see, garlic, if you see there, no, each and garlic cloves are there, no, for each and every clover, no, or clove, okay, which one is there, outer layers are there. Point you understood. So means here and the mother, suppose each and every carpel free is there, means separate walls are there, means apocarpus gynoecium. Suppose like onion mother, all ovules or all carpels are fused together, means that one syncarpus. That onion example only, not related to this phenomenon. Now let us start to discuss the structure of ovule. Structure of ovule point of view. Ovule is also known as integumented megasporangium. Already we have seen this one. So ovule is also known as integumented megasporangium or megasporangia. Next one, each ovule is attached to the placenta. This is important point. Suppose you take one ovule, each ovule is attached to the placenta by means of a stalk, or simply we have studied this one. The stalk of the ovule is known as funicle. So stalk of ovule is known as a funicle. The point attachment of the funicle with the ovule is called as hilum. Means here the point means simply here we can take this particular point, how the junction between funicle and ovule. Okay, funicle is nothing but stalk of ovule, no, that particular funicle and ovule where these two are attached, no. So the junction between the funicle and ovule we will be considering as hilum. Funicle means stalk of ovule, and the junction between the ovule and funicle we will be taking as hilum. Next one, the main region of the ovule. It is important. The main region of the ovule is composed of mass of parenchymatous cells with abundant reserve food materials, which is known as nucellus. Means here the main region. So within the ovule, the main region, one particular region is there. That particular region is made up of parenchymatous cells, and these parenchymatous cells stores the food materials. So these food materials, definitely these food materials, because of the storage of food materials, because of this one, so because of the storage of food materials, no. Now here in region, so main region in the ovule is which one? Nucellus. Why? Because here it stores, or it has which one, abundant reserve food materials. So because of the presence of more nutrients, or because of the availability of the food materials, this nucellus we will be considering as main region of the ovule, and it is made up of parenchymatous cells. Nucellus is a main part of the ovule. Already we discussed now only. Next one, the nucellus is covered by one or two coats. This is important. So nucellus generally covered by like integuments, no, we know very well. As integuments only, here we have written as a coat. That may be how many, the one integument or two integuments, or sometimes nothing. Okay, means here one or two coats are there, and protective envelopes, the protective envelopes which are called integuments. So we see now. So definitely here integuments are there. These integuments, one or two integuments are there, definitely covers the ovule. Okay ma. Next one, In ovule, most important means in the ovule of most of the plants, most of the plants, funicle is attached to the main plant main body of the ovule. Means here, once you see that ovule of most of the plants, okay, in most of the plants, definitely funicle is attached to the main body of the ovule. Means here the stalk of ovule we have been taken now. So we took now stalk of ovule is nothing but a funicle. That particular funicle is attached to the main body of the ovule. Point you understood now. So when this particular stalk of ovule is attached to the main body of the ovule for some distance, that particular one, or when this particular funicle attached to the main body of the ovule, so it forms a ridge like structure known as raphe. A ridge like structure, which one raphe. Means raphe, how it was formed or how it is formed. So when this particular funicle is attached to the main body of the ovule for some distance, so one ridge like structure, one wall like structure formation takes place. That particular ridge only, our subject point of view, we are calling as raphe. Raphe. Next one, so this is important point. In a vascular tissue, means vascular tissues are present inside the funicle. Is the important point. So means here in a male reproductive system where we have seen the presence of vascular tissues, we have seen in like a connective tissue. Connective tissue we see now. There in a connective tissue we see the presence of vascular bundles. Now presence of vascular bundles in a female reproductive system where we are observing in funicle. Funicle means is a stalk of ovule we are calling now there. So which supply food materials from the placenta to the body of the ovule. So means because of the presence of vascular bundles in the funicle, definitely helps in the supply of food materials from the placenta to body of the ovule. So this is information, main important points. Next one, base of the ovule. Base of the ovule is called as chalaza, and next apical means base means opposite, definitely apex, apical region. So we will be taking as micropylar region. Chalazal region base means definitely upper side, micropylar region only is present. Okay, so that particular information now let us see. Integument is absent. Listen carefully. So this is well known point only, but in some other books they have given like that. Once you listen, so integument is absent just opposite to the chalazal region, so that a narrow passage or pore is formed, which is known as micropylar region. Means in our classes, what is the point we have learned? Suppose when these ovules are covered by the integument, this integument covers the entire ovule and left a small gap. That particular gap only we are calling as a micropylar region. We have studied. Another terms, how author is explaining. So integument is absent. Okay, just opposite to the chalazal region. So means just opposite to the chalazal region, which one is absent? Integument, means protective layers are absent. So that when integuments are absent just opposite to the chalazal region, what happened? So that a narrow passage, chinna hole like structure, pore formation or pore is formed, which is called micropylar region. Diagrammatically also no need to explain. Why? Because we are reading for or we are learning for NEET examination means ovule structure we know exclusively. That's why here I didn't draw. So remaining people, suppose if you would like to see the diagram once, you can type in mobile and you can watch. Okay, right. Next one, occasionally. Here this point you understood, a micropylar region means where the integuments are absent or not covers the ovule. Definitely that particular part we will be taking as a micropylar region. This micropylar region exactly situated opposite to the chalazal region. Next one, occasionally some of the seeds such as black pepper, beet, castor, remnants of new cellulose are also persistent. What is the point? After fertilization, suppose you see that after fertilization only, we will discuss the information of seed. Okay, so thereby we can use the term after fertilization. Okay, after fertilization, what is the point we are studying? Black pepper. In black pepper, beet. One more example, castor, no, remnant of nucellus, remnant anna remaining amma, remaining, I mean remnant of nucellus are also persistent. Why here the remaining means actually in this side we see no nucellus is helps in abundant storage of food materials, means so thereby these food materials definitely helps for the development of embryo sac. So thereby if while development of embryo sac, suppose here the somewhat completely nucellus is not consumption means, or not consumption process is not taking place, no, so not consumpted, so in that particular case no konchu remaining will be there, that particular one only we will be taking as remnant. Remnant nucellus is there, it is also persistent. Persistent means that will be remaining. So this particular residual persistent nucellus, our subject point of view we are calling as a perisperm. So thereby my dear students, so what is the point here we have to save in our mind means nucellus after fertilization transformed into or converted into perisperm. So ploidy, nucellus ploidy is 2n means diploid state, and perisperm ploidy also is diploid. Why? Because nucellus is diploid means perisperm is formed from the nucellus means perisperm ploidy also will be like diploid. Why I have given this one means some examinations they are asking us to find out. Next one, some filaments are attached with the funicle. So here sometimes some filaments are attached to the funicle and sometimes with the placenta also. So such kind of when the filaments are attached to the funicle, that one we will be calling as obturators, or simply obturators. Next one, the functions of obturators. So here new information means actually we have seen which one we seen like synergids are there, means synergids members like finger like projections are there. These finger like projections we will be calling as a filiform apparatus, which helps in the guiding of pollen tube into the embryo or embryo sac. Likewise we see no embryo sac pollen tube due to the presence of or due to the guidelines of filiform apparatus. Likewise we say no. So now here another point, same function means once you see there obturators is to guide the passage of a pollen tube towards the micropylar region inside the ovary. Once you see there, so thereby, so we can guess here what is the thing, obturators function is the same with the filiform apparatus. So now the function of obturators is to guide the passage of a pollen tube towards the micropylar region inside the ovary. Next one, there now let us watch special integuments. This side heading, I think it is not appearing clearly. This special integuments side heading. So there first side heading is aril, aril. It is the type of third integument. So this one, this presence of aril we can be considered as a third integument which develops from the funicle. Stalk of ovule is there, no? That particular stalk of ovule helps in the formation of aril at the base of the ovule. Okay, so there this kind of aril or third type of integument which develops from the funicle of the base of the ovule. So where we can be seen mostly means Myristica fragrans. Myristica fragrans in a biryani like a star shaped somewhat they will add fragrances. Mummy will add chinna edo flower we will be calling adama Myristica fragrans, which gives a null smell. That's why in a species name also fragrance they have given, Myristica fragrans. Next one more example, Asphodelpus or Asphodelus. Okay, so one more example, and one more is lich. This is important. This is Myristica fragrans and lich. So most of the times they are asking for example of aril. Aril's best examples lychee and one more is Myristica. And this aril we will be considering as third integument and which is developed from the funicle. Okay, enough. Next one, second special integument name is carancule or strophiole. Which one? Strophiole or carancule. If carancule information mostly where we can see once you see Ricinus communis. Ricinus communis means is a scientific name of, do you know? Castor, very good, castor. So Ricinus communis is a scientific name of castor. So in a castor, definitely we can see the presence of carbuncle, special type of integuments. So now information, now let us see what is it. Now it is formed due to the proliferation or outgrowth. Proliferation or the outgrowth of outer integument over the micropylar region. Means here what is happening, proliferation of outgrowth where of outer integument over the micropylar region. Means on the micropylar region some kind of a special integuments development takes place. So that kind of development also due to the presence of outer integuments. Means that definitely there is involvement of outer integument in a formation of carbuncle. So here one more time information, let us see. Carbuncle or strophiole means it is formed due to the proliferation of outgrowth of outer integument over the micropylar region. Means here outgrowths are formation taking place. So with in the presence of outer integuments over micropylar region. So best example, Ricinus communis. Next one, it is made up of sugary contents. This particular carbuncle is made up of sugary content and helps in absorption of water during the germination of seeds. So definitely this particular carbuncle helps in absorption of water and minerals while seed germination, and this particular carbuncle is made up of sugary contents. So sugary contents means like glucose or any kind of sugars or monosaccharides or disaccharides, like sugars are there, no? So sugary contents so definitely involves in the formation of carbuncle. Next one, dispersal of seeds occurs. Seeds. So these carbuncle seeds or the dispersal of seeds occurs by ants. So occurs by ants. So which is called Myrmecochory or Myrmecophily also we can call Myrmecochory. Myrmecochory suppose difficult Myrmecophily. Okay. Next one important concept, that is types of ovules on the basis of integuments. Now here how many types of ovules are there? On the number, on the basis of integuments. So on the basis of the integuments, so there are three different types of ovules are there. So what are those? Unitegmic, bitegmic, ategmic. Unitegmic, once you see, uni means single, tegmic means integument. Unitegmic means presence of single integument. So very exclusive we can see in members of Gamopetalae and mostly we can see in gymnosperms. In gymnosperms unitegmic condition we can observe, and Gamopetalae members. Means Gamopetalae means like petals or fused members are there, no? In such kind of cases, no? So we can see unitegmic case. Next one, bitegmic means here how many number of integuments are there? 2. So 2 integuments ovules is known as bitegmic, and mostly in most of the angiosperms. In most of the angiosperms, and so in most of the angiosperms means polypetalae members. So in polypetalae members and in monocotyledons. So we can see. Next one, ategmic. Ategmic means here how many? So before this term no A is there. So thereby which one is absent? Integuments are absent. So there definitely the integuments are absent. So such kind of ovule we will be taking as like an integument ovule. So examples are Santalum, Loranthus, and one more is Lanax and Liriosma. So there are different types of examples are there. In the next video definitely I will give you all these examples. So in this side, what are the main important points we have been discussed? Means stalk of ovule funicle, and next one hilum means the junction between the funicle and ovule wall. Ovule, so we will be taking as a hilum. Next one, so this particular funicle is attached to the main part of the ovule and form a ridge-like structure we will be calling as raphe. So inside the vascular bundles are also present in the funicle. So thereby because of the presence of the vascular bundles, so food materials transportation point of view help. Next one, micropylar region we see, micropylar region which is opposite to the chalazial region and where the integuments are absent. Next one, so definitely definitely here new cellus. So while development of the embryo sac, new cellus is not complete or not completely utilized. At the time now we can see the presence of new cellus after fertilization now. So that particular new cellus are transformed into perisperm. Perisperm, best example where we can see black pepper, bee. Next one, in some plants, some kind of special structures also we see. So helps in the passage of the pollen tube or the guidelines of the pollen tube. Next one, special integuments point of view, aerial we seen and carbuncle we seen. Next one, types of ovules on the basis of integuments. So here unitegument means here one integument is there, here two integuments are there, here nothing. So here no integuments, where in ategumic. So this particular information in the next video definitely I will give you. So my dear students, so here mostly I have covered important points only. Try to watch this video so without skip. Take care and be safe at home.